All right, so today's topic, we're going to be answering some parent questions that we get the most often. My name is Isaiah Rojas. I'm with I9 Sports. I got on with me my partner in crime, Cedric Reed, who is also an area developer and been with I9 Sports for a few years as well. So a lot of the questions that we get very often from parents, we want to try to answer those so that way they feel a little more informed and prepared going into a program. So two of the programs that we offer, Cedric, are our recreational leagues that happen on Saturdays and Sundays, and our clinics that are either weekdays or weekends. And for a parent who's brand new to sports, or if they've been in sports for a while, they may not know exactly what a clinic means or what a league means and what the difference between two is. They see soccer league, they see basketball, soccer clinic. Maybe it's the same day, maybe it's a different day, same ages, and they're trying to figure out, which one is best for me based off my experience and what's the difference between the two programs. So real quick, give me an explanation as, when a parent asks you, you got a clinic, I got a league, what's the difference between those two programs for us?
That's a good question. And the way I would look at it is, let's start with the leagues, which is most popular. We get the most people signed up for those. And when you think of leagues, you think of teams, you think of coaches, teammates, practice, games. That's a league. We run legit leagues. Some leagues have more teams than others, but you get a season schedule, of the teams you're going to play against. And so you have that part to look forward to. I grew up playing in leagues, that's just what it was for me. And leagues, the benefits, there are benefits of leagues, man. Like I mentioned before, having teammates, that you go into the trenches with, you go into battle with, you develop friendships with. Man, my younger son was probably about 5-6 years old when we started in I9 Sports. He developed so many friendships, with these guys that he played with. And, you could do your buddy requests and play with your friends season after season. So it's really fun. It's really cool. And you get those competitive memories together. But that can be intimidating for some kids that have never played sports before. I got to be on a team. I'm not that good yet. I got to work on my game in front of people and play against people. And that can be intimidating for some folks. And that's where clinics could be a really good option, because clinics is really about you. You working on your game, your fundamental skill development. That's really what clinics are for. The leagues are led by parent volunteer coaches who are, certified, background checked and all that. But our clinics are led by our staff. And so it's a different experience. It's a small group of 10 or less. You're getting that attention from a trained professional coach, and there are no games or competitions to worry about. All you do is come. They have, a program scheduled of drills that will help you learn the game and develop in the game. Sometimes there are fun competitive drills that, keep the kids interested and excited and, keep the juices flowing. But really, the clinics, I think, are a good option for people that are trying to get introduced to a new sport, or they really want to get extra work in. I played in the basketball league. I realized, man, I'm not as strong as I want to be on dribbling and shooting. Getting in a clinic can help you work on that. We break the game down. It's not just go, go, go. It's stop, teach, apply, correct, and just kind of get those reps in. And that's what a clinic can do for a kid. And, they're short. They're not as long of a commitment as a league. They're just short 4-week clinics that, boom, you get something out of it. And then you can get back into the next league if you want to continue to build. So, or you could try a different sport. But clinics, leagues, I think the main difference is the leagues are the team-based competition. The clinics are really about the individuals taking time to work on their game and learn the game. So that's, and wherever your kid is, we all know where our kid is. You can pick which one kind of fits where they are. And both might be applicable for your kid,
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, that's all I was going to say is, as a recreational league like we are, we're not a, competition heavy type program. We are more recreation based. So a lot of kids that play with us, whether they're playing for the very first time as a 3-year-old, or they're playing sometimes, I got an email this week about a 10-year-old playing basketball for the first time. And asking the question is I9 Sports a good fit for that? Because they've played before. Yep. And so in that situation, whether they're very first time playing or older and just never got into sports before, there's benefits to the clinic and there's benefits to the league for both those kids. And it really is, like you said, based off of your knowledge of your child, right? My oldest, when he first got into leagues, was very shy, very timid, had a hard time with the league part of it, sharing dad when I was coaching, and it was a difficult transition for him. Right. So for if I would have had a clinic, that would have been the spot I would have sent him first. Right. Whereas my youngest, when he got into sports at a young age as well, at 3 years old for his first soccer league, he had a different personality and he was able to jump right in. So you don't have to be a beginner to do a league, and you don't have to be experienced or have no experience to do a clinic, right? There's kids that are older with experience. In our basketball clinic that's going on right now, we got a couple kids in our older division that are skilled basketball players, but they and their parents realize, hey, we want to continue to grow, continue developing our skills, continue to get repetitions. You like professional coaches, and so they play. Within that same age group, there's going to be a couple kids in there that are very inexperienced. Yeah, and we have professional coaches. They can cater to both age groups because it's a small group, and within an hour, you can get a lot of reps in. So very experienced players can benefit from a clinic because of that extra repetition, small group setting, professional instruction, and very inexperienced players can help with that. We got a lot of kids, especially in young ages, that they started the league and the parents said, you know what, they're not ready for this. Is there something you guys can do to help me get ready? And say, oh, we got a clinic right when the season's over. And a lot of those parents went to the clinic. There's no game, like you said, there's no pressure, no competition. We're all kind of beginners. We're all learning. It's all, a pressure-free game experience. And, so they really benefit from that. So there's, depending on the personality of a kid, the experience level kid, both clinics can work for both and leagues can work for both. But knowing your child with how you explained it, I think they can say, you know what, here's where I start first and here's where we go next.
Yeah, so either way is going to be a great experience.
Yeah. So, kind of going off of that, what would you say is, who is the best personality and experience level for a clinic that fits that program the best? Would you say, hey, this is the ideal kid for a clinic, and then this is the ideal kid for a league? What would you say for a clinic first, that ideal kid looks like, experience levels like?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, honestly, is for clinics, they have to want to be there. They have to want to be there, because if not, they're really not going to get the most out of that hour, and their attention span is important. Get in there, listen to the coach for an hour and learn. But who is ideal for that? I would say, just based on the clinics that we have ran over the years, whether it's after school programs or it's hard to say. I definitely think people that are getting introduced to the sport or beginners, that clinic is really good for them. It's a way to get your feet wet. And like you said, no pressure. You have a professional that understands that, you need that extra attention, and that's why you're there. And the drills, the programs that have been planned out for those 4 weeks are progressive learning, drills. And so we're going to start you off here at the base fundamentals, which a lot of kids don't actually get a chance to start at the base fundamentals of sports. They just get kind of thrown in and they start trying to do 360 layups and, the fancy shooting 3-pointers, and nobody showed them the proper way to dribble, why to dribble that way, the proper way to do a layup or shoot a jump or a free throw. And we try to break the game down in a way that some parents may not be able to teach their kids, or some kids just didn't take the time to learn. They skipped steps, but we try to bring it back and not skip steps, and teach them in a progressive format. And I think that's a good way to establish that foundation to build on to get into leagues.
Yeah.
And be more comfortable.
And then when we talk about leagues, we're like I said, whether you got experience or don't, leagues within our format work great for kids as beginners or experienced, because practicing game on the same day, they're going to learn the skills, they're going to apply it right there, right afterwards in a game setting. And even though there is competition, it's recreational competition. So equal playing time is enforced. The rules are age appropriate. The gameplay is age appropriate. The size of the field or court, balls, all of that's age appropriate. So, I think as a new kid, you can be new to a sport. You can really benefit from league, but you have to have the understanding, just like what you talked about with the clinic, the understanding that we're going to play a game. There's going to be a winner and a loser, and I'm going to be competing against somebody else. And some kids do really well with that and love that environment. And some, regardless of age, kind of struggle with that more. So that confidence first going into a league really can help with that. But, parents know their kids best. So off of the information that we got here, clinic, league, experience, inexperience, look at the personality of a kid, look at the experience level of them. And then, there's always the idea of, like you talked about, do a clinic and then jump right into a league. A league.
The other thing is some kids, they're looking for competition. You could be in a clinic doing drills and working on your game, and the kid is like, when are we going to play? When are we going to have a game? They just are competitive. And so they're looking forward to putting that uniform on and going to play against somebody. Your kid, man. That's the league is for your kid, know.
And the awesome thing about our clinics is that very last day of clinics, when they've done 3 weeks of training, and that very last session, that back end of that session, we're going to put a little game together with the kids that are out there, so they can start seeing, all right, how are they applying those skills, and are we ready for the league coming up, or what, should we do one more clinic before, and then kind of use that as that final gauge before that clinic ends, to see how they put those skills together, and because it's important to understand the skills for a sport, but also applying that within the gameplay. Right, understanding the rules of the game, the structure of the game. That's the next level. And so, whether you want to jump into, skills and gameplay with the league, or you want to get the skills first and then start introducing the gameplay, we have both those options. So, cool, Cedric. Well, appreciate it, man. Thanks for answering that question, and we'll come back with another question later for these frequently asked questions that we get from a lot of our sports parents.
Great. Thanks. Great question. Appreciate it.